fellow recruiters. Hello. What I want to talk about today is the different types of hiring managers. And if you've been in the industry even for a short amount of time, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. In my eyes, there's basically two kinds of hiring managers that can sometimes cause some struggles with hiring. There is the managers that go with their gut. When they meet that person, that first interview, they know that's the perfect candidate. Then there's the other hiring managers that are very analytical. They, even if they see the perfect candidate initially, they want to see two or three more just to make sure. I don't want to say they drag their feet, but they tend to make sure they weigh all of their options before they make a decision. So how do you deal with these? Well, first off, when they go with their gut reaction, and if you know that initially a lot of times that first interview, they want to make the hire right away. I try to plan strategically where if I have 2 to 3 candidates or more, try to lump them together as much as possible, right? So if you set up a interview for next Wednesday, try to have another interview on Thursday, another interview on Friday, or a couple on Wednesday, a couple on Thursday. So that way, if the hiring manager is quick to make that snap decision, you can tell them that, hey, I've got these other candidates lined up. We've already got the interviews going. Let's go through all the candidates. Make sure you review all of them before you make any decisions. Now, for the opposite side of the spectrum, so if you have a hiring manager that is very analytical, that really takes their time, you want to make sure and schedule as many interviews as possible and make sure that they have as many options as they can. What I've learned is that if you schedule that stuff in advance, especially if they're very busy, and then you give them as much information as possible, right? They like to see everything laid out in front of them. They want to see all of those, the behavioral, reports. If you do any kind of like assessments along those lines, if you do like cognitive assessments, they want to see, how are they on their thinking? How are they on their verbal reasoning? How are they on their mathematics and logic? That sort of thing. Also, if you utilize scorecards, make sure you have all of those gathered from the panel members and then sit down with that hiring manager after those interviews and go through all of the information. The trick that I've learned is if you make all that information anonymous, right? So you set up candidate A, B, and C, and you put the specific information for each candidate under those. So you basically kind of do like a blind review. That allows them to see the things that they need to see to make a decision, and it takes out any sort of snap judgment. It takes out any sort of, like gut feelings that they have, positive or negative, and it helps out both sides of the management spectrum in regards to making a decision for hiring. Try it. See what you think. I'd love to hear your comments below. Thank you.